each couple sets of 10 a day. Pivot week is the week between training cycles, so like actual training blocks. So I did a developmental block where my single at RP 8 started at 525, 253, 650 for squat, press, deadlift, and then ended at 575, 265, and 675. So now we'll switch to an intensification period, and we'll go get ready for this meet, and we'll have more information for the next meet cycle, meet prep. But yeah, pivot week, basically I do one exercise for a couple sets of higher reps. Usually it might be a different exercise, like I did high bar squats and sumo squats this week, or sumo deadlifts this week, and then today I actually get to bench press. I haven't been benching lately, so I'll bench press today, do a little circuit. You said that there's 5 things that I always get asked.
Top 5, top 5. Is ketogenic diets good?
Are ketogenic diets good?
For performance?
No, not really, although the data is lacking, because they haven't been studied for a long period of time. It's just that on average people do worse for strength power sports specifically. Although you could theoretically make the argument that in the short term you could use a ketogenic diet to make weight. But at the same time you're saying, in a period of time where you've trained a lot beforehand, you're peaking, your performance doesn't suffer, and you do ketogenic diet for a week. It doesn't tell you anything about its application to actual sport. Maybe some evidence that ketogenic diets do worse for strength power over the long term, but the data is overall bad. Anecdotally, people don't do well with ketogenic diets for strength and performance.
How can I gain a lot of muscle and lose fat, specifically my tummy region?
So you actually can't, although interestingly...
But I see it on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram, yeah, no, it's a good sales pitch. The interesting thing is you have people who strength train, resistance train, and who don't lose any weight, and their abdomen gets smaller. So it's actually super important when you talk about visceral adipose tissue. So belly fat would be a very strong predictor of morbidity and mortality risk, that they actually will lose adipose tissue here preferentially while even not losing weight. So they actually had a study. They compared people who lost weight versus people who just resistance trained. The people who just resistance trained and didn't lose weight lost more belly fat than those who lost weight. Yeah, it's a pretty good push for resistance training.
Okay, and I was deadlifting and I hurt my back.
What should he do? Yeah, so honestly, for any non-traumatic sort of back injury, and so by trauma I mean you got in a car accident, you got kicked by a horse, gunshot wound, like you actually require either an intervention, like surgery, or emergency evaluation because you numbness, tingling, loss of bowel or bladder function, anything like that, or like acute huge herniation from something, so that's usually traumatic. If you just tweaked at the gym, you should train. You should stay active. Like, the more that you keep moving, the better it's going to be. So for instance, we had Alan Thrall, who tweaked his back the day before the barbell medicine seminar, and so our prescription, or his coach's prescription, Austin, told him to just, I want you to do a bunch of bodyweight squats, don't get stiff, do some squats at the bar, do some deadlifts, 80 kilos. So in the background of all the videos, or all the lectures, he's like deadlifting and squatting. And he ended up being able to train just fine the next week. The thing is, if you believe that you have a back injury and you believe you're gonna hurt and you have a back injury. It's just gonna prevent you from training. So
keep training.
Keep training. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Not train.
Almost everyone that's watching now has done starting strength, linear progression. What do I do next? Can I do Texas method?
God. It's interesting. I would actually argue that most people haven't done starting strength linear progression. So when we mined all the logs of the people who are on the Starting Strength website reporting their workouts, and we say, hey, we'll allow you to do 20% of stuff that's not in the program and still say that you're doing the program. How many of the thousands of logs, what percentage of them actually did Starting Strength LP? Granted, we gave them a 20% fudge factor. Less than 2% of those logs actually show that people did the novice progression. So most people have not actually done the novice progression. So I would say it's highly likely that applies to people watching this. And if you haven't done it, you should do it without any modifications. Then after that, you should probably run the bridge.
Where can I get the bridge?
you can go to our website. Yeah, where do you get it? Go to our website, under resources tab, there's the bridge, you can download it for free. We wrote it for people to have something to do after the novice linear progression. It's pretty good. People are gonna say, oh, there's a lot of exercise variations, RPE, they go crazy. Well, we wrote 30 pages. You can read it.
What are my macros?
Yeah. Hey,
what are my macros?
yeah, it's my favorite question on Instagram. Hey, you don't know anything about me.
Nothing about me, what my activity level is, what do I do for training,
Yeah.
how old I am.
But what should my macros be?
What's my macros?
Yeah, you should go read the article To Be a Beast on barbellmedicine.com. It's pretty good. I wrote it. I'm super biased. The only thing I would change is I'd probably lower the protein recommendation.
And if I'm trying to cut or gain, do you think that in general my protein should remain about the same?
About the same, in general. Look, there's nothing highly proprietary or high skill required about prescribing macros. You need to have training to know what to do next and how to troubleshoot and how not to give people eating disorders or enable their eating disorders and what to do about supplementation. Yeah, there's a ton of macro coaches out there, a ton of macro apps. That doesn't mean any of them are super useful. You know, that stuff's easy to do. It's tough to know what to do next or what could go wrong and how not to enable someone's eating disorder. Macro coaches, be careful.
Okay.
Your backer.
Yes. But it doesn't matter.
It's true, it doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter?
Because I'm just going to train anyway and it's going to get better on its own.
You heard it here first, folks. She's just gonna train, it's gonna get better. Or it's not, but you still have to train anyway.
Exactly.
Because what are you gonna do? Not
Can't
train.
not train. So
You can't not train. I like that. Why don't I wear a shirt when I do Instagram lives? Because it's my own house. Do you wear a shirt at your own house?
I don't wear pants.
But see, no one knows that. You never see me. You know what you don't know is that there are no pants on either. Can't confirm.